Hello everybody, welcome. Why is everyone saying that the stream's early? Are you referring to the 1 minute? Because we've done quite a few where it's been like 10 minutes or 15 and no one's ever commented. Or am I like going crazy here and the time is not the right time? Because I gotta say, I'm really sleepy this morning. I've given myself about the same amount of sleep as I normally do, but Christ, I don't know what it is. I'm really tired. I've got that thing going on. It's taken me about 10 days here, but I've got that thing going on, which I haven't had for a while. I'm embarrassed to say. But where my body automatically wakes up in anticipation of the alarm. You guys know that? If you have a very regular alarm, and you always get up at the same time, weekends don't matter. It's always the same time. Your body will start doing it. And it's kind of cool. But so yeah, I wake up about... It's happened 2 days actually. I'll tell the truth. Yesterday was not the first day. Today was not the first day. So I woke up sort of in anticipation, but I'm really tired and drowsy. So my Brian might be fried, and we'll have to figure out exactly what we do. You wake up 10 minutes before the alarm? Yeah, there you go. Lots of people recognise that. So let's see how we go past that. We had a really cool bonus stream yesterday. Where we did some roller beetle racing. That should be about to get posted on the second channel. The big story video is No, I'm joking. The story video obviously came out already. It's online on the main channel. There's a lot of discussion. I haven't really looked at the comments just yet because I've only just woken up. Like I posted it, I read a bit of the comments yesterday before I went to sleep. And I've just woken up. I had a quick refresh, but it's a lot of walls of text. A lot of walls of text, and yeah, I'll have to look at those a little bit later. I didn't have time in a couple of minutes right before we're starting here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? There you go. That's an example of me not setting stuff up. Let's have our progress scroll through. So yeah. That was a good story video. I liked the ex-developer. Yeah, and do you notice I cropped her name out of the image as well? It's interesting. I am reluctant to because I don't think... I think that those are really, really bad tweets, to be honest. I really don't think that they should be discussed or talked about and stuff. But there is kind of a sliding scale of like, okay, once something is prominent enough, I have to acknowledge it, you know. It's sort of not my job to bury things. You know, I'm not of the company. The only reason I would choose not to discuss something in the company's interest is off my own back, not based on any policy or anything. And largely I would, if someone said something that's really damaging or probably they shouldn't have said, largely I would try not to signal boost it, and I would try not to, you know, I'd try to do whatever's respectful just based on my own philosophy or whatever. But equally, once enough people know about it, it's a bit stupid for me to ignore it, you know. It's a bit stupid for me to, like, you've got to say things, you know, it's not my job to hide stuff, basically, is what I'm going with. So it's an interesting, like, line I kind of have to walk. Do I talk about this thing or not? So, you know, one thing I guess I can do, I loosely reason, it's not like I thought very deeply about this, but is I can talk about the information but not where it came from, in the hopes that, to the best degree I possibly can, in the hopes that, you know, damage isn't done in the future or whatever, I don't know. You know, it's all sort of a subjective decision. It's a similar thing. I used to get a lot of heat. I haven't done it for a very long time. But, for example, the Ascalon catacombs, I once did a video demonstrating the merge skips where you can blend all the paths together. That used to be, and get all the loot in a single dungeon run. That used to be like a really closely kept secret, right? Like, that was like a big thing, because dungeons were the way to make money, and this was cutting down on runtimes massively and was clearly not wanted by the devs. It was clearly an oversight and all this stuff. And I remember I did a video on that, and I got some serious blowback, basically. And there's been various videos like that, where people are basically saying, look, if an exploit exists, you shouldn't do a video about it, because you're just spreading it, and that makes you culpable, that makes you liable, that makes you a part of the problem. Or like when there's silly little economy tricks and things, sometimes I've talked about things. But my argument with these things has always been, well, look, I would rather, for the exploity things, I would say, look, I would rather make that video and clear out the cobwebs. You don't know how many people know and are just keeping it close to their chest at this point. And it's damaging for the game. It's damaging for the game's economy. I don't know why it's safe for... It's okay for these people to exploit something as a minority for a long period of time to massive gains. You know, I feel like it's almost a good thing for me to get that information out there, you know. So yeah, that's kind of my feeling with it. But maybe I was wrong about it. I acknowledge I might be wrong about it. But yeah, so with this, you know, I just sort of didn't say the name of the person or where the tweet came from, and I'll throw it out there because it is such an important tweet, I think. And here's the other thing. So it's all about that to me. It's not necessarily about disliking the person. People are very, very, very harsh and judgmental towards her, and I've done my fair share of it, right? I really have. But if you actually read the tweet chain, if you try and be as dislodged from it all as possible, and you read the tweet chain, she's not being venomous with that tweet chain. She's saying, oh, here's what we were thinking of and why. Here's what they did. I actually really like what they did. I think this is cool, blah, blah, blah. She's complimenting the patch and, you know, enjoying it and stuff and taking that deeper interest. So, you know, you gotta look at these things. You can't just be instantly horrendously cynical of every single thing someone says just because they've been a bit crazy about one thing and it really blew up. You know, you got to be careful about that stuff like that. Most people are a bit nuts when it comes to one thing or another, I think. It just depends if you're stupid enough to put on social media. Anyway, now the conversation gets a bit off track. Is chat working today? I think it is, right? Yeah, chat is working. Brilliant. Okay. I haven't actually seen what Cho had to say. So yeah, alright, let's go on into Master. Let's see what we've got. Now, let's try out our Fancy Pants new setup. Right? Why isn't the... There we go. Okay. So, the Fancy Pants new setup is I can log in on Merlin. You like the new overlays? I do too, mate. And they're really good, aren't they? They're very cool. Once we get in game, that stuff kind of goes away a bit. But they are very, very, very cool. Okay, so we get... Oh, yeah, okay, and I got a mail. So check this out, guys. Check this out. Now, I think this is in reference I said yesterday. If anyone ever does this, this is a big step for me. If anyone ever does this, I will always read your message out on stream. Unless it's, like, really offensive and just twatish, right? So, yeah, 2019, I'm lowering the bar. So let's see. So I mentioned yesterday, if someone wanted to give me something to help with Master, I'd go for it. Now, here's what Renegade Kohai says. Hey WP, I've been starting to watch you more on stream recently, especially with the Mastery series, and would very much like to join you and your guild in these morning shenanigans. Oh no, never mind then. Here are some donations to ease my way into your heart. Save the Actos until the Festival of the Fall win for massive market exploitation. Okay, so wait, never mind. So this is a guild fee. Alright, never mind. I thought this was a personal donation to me. Alright, Kohai, I'll put that with the guild. We'll bundle that in. We'll do scribing with that and stuff. So, yeah. Alright, let's do this. Never mind. I thought that was like a personal thing. But that's fine. Alright, so here we go. Can we one-shot this based on what we learned yesterday? So there's a ton of things I want to do today. One of the ideas I actually have is I kind of want to do a circuit of the roller beetle races. You don't have to get gold or anything. Ah, really? You don't have to get gold or anything. All you have to do is get it finished. And I've got to complete the circuits like every single one 10 times. It's something like that. So, yeah. Hey WP, you're a fucking sellout. And to prove it, I'm sending you the gold to read this message. Alright, here we go. Oh, that was pretty good. I think this was okay. Because we can clip the top of this. And all at once. This is pretty cheesy, being able to do the mastery thing. That's pretty cheesy. I'm number 5 today. Number 5. Alright, we get our gold chest. Ah, problem. Oh, no. And then we have to reset before character swapping. If I ever forget to do that, it's going to be really annoying. I'd love to see someone do the Griffin swap, the Sky Scale swap mid-thing. That's often not going to be beneficial for the way that these are designed, though, right? Whoa. I just got a Black Lion key. What? Where did I get the Black Lion key from? Hello? From a gold chest. You're not flapping when you climb up. Oh yeah, I could have done a flap on the boost up. Oh, can you multiple flap while climbing up? I guess that's the thing. Dark says I have a video I linked on Discord. All right, well, Dark, I'm in the middle of a stream right now, so unless it's really important for the stream. If you're looking to unlock all the novelties, you'll need to do beetle races daily. So the earlier you start, the better. Really? What's the daily gate on beetles? Am I so out of touch? Oh, sick! I got a wardrobe unlocker. Hell yeah, the game is helping big time here. I got the Choya finisher. All right, well, still, finishing off the finishers is pretty exciting to me. We still need this. This is just a Path of Fire finisher, man. Still need this. What else have we got? Mystic Dragon I need. The Hidden Minstrel I need. And then the 3 Worlds ones, which is what I've wanted for so long, particularly the Chinese. Christ. All right, but almost, guys. There's actually some hidden finishers here, but they're not counted in Master because they're unacquirable right now. I've only got the bronze Doliac and 174 currency left of it. Hopefully one day, with the new World versus World team, right, we'll get the gold and the silver ones. The portal finisher is the only one because it's so tedious to get that no one would ever do that. Do you have it, Valen? Listen, guys, the guy in chat right now, Valen, is probably the closest player to actually being finished with a challenge like this in the entire game, I think, probably. He doesn't really talk about it much on his streams, but he's got that mindset where he ends up getting a lot of this stuff done. All right, so let's swap. Wait, that was thing number 1. Thing number 2. You know what I should have done? That stupid little introductory chat where I talked about my brain was moving really slow. I should have come here and I should have been doing the coins in the meantime. Oh, you put a kappa. Does that mean it's not tedious? All I know is you have to do it in the Desolation. That's literally all I know about it. I like EU, man. People do stuff on EU. I tell you what, if I came here on NA, even like 5 hours in the future from now, there's a good chance the meta wouldn't be going along. But it's going along here.
I saw another awakened.
I don't know what it is. Is EU just so much more populated than NA, or is it that people are more interested in playing this stuff? Here, I'll create a squad. Thanks very much for the sub there. That was lovely of you. Welcome. Welcome. I hope you enjoy. I used to say to people, welcome to the Spud Club every time they sub. Do you guys remember that? Wow. When did I stop doing that? That was never a decision. If I ever quit PvP, I become a master streamer. Yeah, because you wouldn't even I think I will do a bit of PvP on this series. Just because I need my 10,000 games. And I also need to do an automated tournament on every class. There are like 4 classes I've still never actually played an AT on. And I've been loosely playing some of their builds, but I'm really not very good at them at the moment. So like Warrior, Ranger... I was going to say Dervish out loud there. That was weird. Renegade, I think, is one of them. So those are 3 builds that I've touched a little bit in the past month. But and maybe I'll do some burner LFGs or something to get that, and we could do that on the Master streams. Actually, though, ATs don't necessarily launch at this period, do they? What do you think about the future of Guild Wars 2? No expansions in the new future seems grim. I do think it's slightly more grim than... look, I think that the expansion, Living World Season, expansion, Living World Season format was really good. I do think it was really good. And obviously, they've done double seasons. Some people are like, oh, there is precedent for it, because they did that with Season 1 to Season 2. But the only reason Season 1 to Season 2 exists is because they were struggling with how Season 1 worked. and they weren't reaping the benefits of how Season 1 worked, so they changed the whole idea, and they created Season 2. If the fundamentals of content delivery weren't different, then it all would have been Season 1. The Scarlet Briar arc, waking up Morgemoth, would have been how we think of Season 1, not an arc for Scarlet and an arc for Morgemoth as separate things. In fact, really, Season 2, how do you even sum up what Season 2 is about? It's not even really about Morgemoth. It's about Morgemoth's effects on the world, I guess. And it's sort of a waiting room for an expansion, you know. And I really feel like Season 5 is going to feel like that too. It's going to feel like a waiting room for an expansion. And we'll get a variety of stuff. But, you know, Season 2 had some really good patches in there. Speaking of that tweet chain, I may as well, right? Jessica was also saying, she was talking about something in the latest patch. And she was saying, I remember how, like, stressed and, like, overworked everyone on the team was when I was last there. So I feel like this is kind of a fun little comment as a self-insert to, you know, nod at how overworked we were, blah, 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 blah. That's what she said about one part of the patch, that there was a sneaky self-insert from the devs alluding to how stressed the studio was. And this wasn't because of layoff stress. This was just because of crunch. This was because of work. So, you know, it's very, very similar to the Season 1 thing. It's like, okay, Season 1, we feel really overworked. We're not necessarily reaping the benefits. Let's change it up. And Season 3 plus 4 have pushed them to that point again. So they're pulling it back. You know, you can read between the lines on that blog post that the devs put out. I did a whole video on this. Now the question is, can I kill these on a Sword Weaver in PvE? Maybe if I get a good line of sight. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, for example, this would not make it into my build, my open world builds video. At all. Do you guys know what the oh, I messed it up there. Do you guys know what the thing build would be? It would be Tempest. So yeah, you know, it might kind of suck, but it might also be what we need, you know. Season 2, well, to finish the point, to put the cap on the point, Season 2 was motivated by that stuff. It was motivated by, you know, everything had become a lot of work, and it wasn't necessarily working, and there were problems the community had, blah, blah, blah. So they changed the format. And look at some of the shit that was in Season 2, guys. You had the library instance, you had the first visit to Glint's lair, you had the return of characters like Ogden, and you had voice acting from Jahan. There were lots of steps up when Season 2 occurred. Lots of steps up. And there's no reason, therefore, to believe that... See, and so, you know, I look at Season 2 and I think, well, the world wasn't so grim with Season 2. In some ways, you know, it was a bit frustrating because the patches came out way less frequently and felt sometimes even shorter. There's a moment in Season 2 where they really struggled. This here. Do you know why this is Part 1 and Part 2? It's literally just that they couldn't hit their release schedule. So they broke it in half, and then there was a massive gap, I think it was, waiting for Echoes of the Past. So, you know, they were still finding... They've always been finding their feet, let's be real. They've always been finding their feet. Sadly, you know, if we were getting an expansion release right now, it would be amazing. It would be like, oh, ArenaNet has found the rhythm. They've really gone and done it. But clearly they had other plans. You meant you have a video on swapping between flying mounts. You can ping me after the stream. Oh, that's cool, dude. Oh, I should talk to Cho about this. What I really, really, really want... Oh, man, I should have talked to Cho about this a long time ago. I'm going to set a thing up, guys. Or hopefully, I'm going to. That's so bad. I'm going to hope that Cho can help me set up a scene that I can swap to at any moment that will allow me to share with you a web browser, but it's all anonymized and there's absolutely zero risk of me putting, you know, credit card information on screen or, you know, whatever. And it's just the web page that I want. If I can do that, I'll be really happy. Like a quick and easy way to do it. And another quick and easy thing I'd love to be able to do is to be able to draw on the screen like I do on trailer analyses and Game of the Day back when I was doing that. And things like that. That would be really nice as well, because then I could, you know, swap to a scene and we could, like, draw on a video that you link and stuff. That'd be hype, wouldn't it? That'd be really good. And these would all be skills and things that I could take with me into covering any game or anything. So that's pretty good. Could you... No, toggling into incognito and messing with more windows and stuff. I'll see what the easiest way is. Hopefully there's a really good one. If not, then yeah, obviously I'll have to just put some effort in. Do you think ArenaNet should make another game when they find their feet? Yeah, well, look, I think that they always should have been a multi-game studio. I would have handled things very differently. Look, if you really want my opinions on this, you're just going to have to remember or rewatch or first-time watch my video where I said what I think is bankable for the studio. After the layoffs happened, I did a video on this topic. And I said, look, they should have continued developing Guild Wars 1. There should have been a team on Guild Wars 1 always. And it for content releases, even if it's super slow, all right? But focus more on systems, focus more on balance, focus more on renewable stuff, and just keep a whole... They could have easily had, you know, their fan base another 10 to 50,000 more strong. Easily, just by doing that. Easily. And they wouldn't have lost so many content creators over the years, because this game has been really difficult for people to cover, you know, just purely as a content creator on this one game. Because everyone ran out of stuff to say, and they didn't know what was going on. But they would have had, you know, 2 games to cover at once. You know, Guild Wars 1 would have been less so, but they should never have done that. That would have signaled to people that they can handle multiple games at once. Just like Blizzard, just like Bethesda and whatever. You know, Bethesda's a bit different because they release a box product, a couple of DLCs, and then they move away from it forever. But they should have done that. They really should have. And to this day, they should go back and push people into that, I think. Genuinely. Like I said on a podcast recently, I have 100... it might even be 200k people now have seen this video. The second I covered a Guild Wars 1 update. It had been so long since they did it. They threw in some little graphics engine stuff, and everyone flooded to it. People were so excited about Guild Wars 1. There's an audience for it. And it's such a different game fundamentally to Guild Wars 2. Anyway, so with that in mind, they would have had a good baseline for... I'm not just talking about logistics at the company. I'm talking about at the studio. I'm talking about the community's expectations and understanding of what they can deliver. And now they can say, all right, we're going to release another MMO. And don't worry, it's not going to replace Guild Wars 2. It's going to, you know, supplement the experience. It's going to, you know, we'll have it all going on. And we can prove that we could do that because, look, Guild Wars 1, we did that, right? And it could have been their sci-fi thing. I think that's a good idea. Whatever that sci-fi concept art was from years ago, like in 2013, that beautiful image we've talked about so many times, whatever that was, I think they had a good idea there. I think they could have had like a sci-fi MMO, and I think that they could have had Guild Wars. And I can't help, right? This is super tinfoil stupid stuff that really, there's no point even talking about on the stream because I could be so far off base, it's unreal, right? Like, I quite often look at things I say, like, years later when the truth comes out, and I'm like, oh, I was so off. This is so stupid. I can just imagine someone who actually knows cringing as I say some things, right? But listen, what if WildStar affected that, right? Because NCSoft was looking at releasing another Western MMO. This is the important bit. An MMO that was going to be successful in the West, right? And it was like a sci-fi thing, and maybe, you know, they were like, oh, we don't want you to do this anymore, ArenaNet. It'd be too confusing to have this release around with WildStar, so let's do... And we know that the studios collaborated and stuff, right? With ground-targeted telegraphs and stuff. There were a couple of public comments about it, that they'd met up. Maybe not very much, you know, maybe it was just a nonsense. But I think we got all the coins of this phase now, so we just kind of have to wait. I once did this, by the way, where there was a train and a commander actually, like, led people through this. It was pretty good. So, yeah, you know, good plans that are led astray, I guess. I don't know. Then who knows what's been going on. Yeah, maybe you're right, Valen. Valen says it's kind of hindsight because they thought Guild Wars 2 would solve all the problems of Guild Wars 1 and no one would have a reason to go back. I think you are right, actually. I don't think Guild Wars 2 was designed at a fundamental level to be so extremely different to its older brother. I don't think that at all. I think that it's an accident, pretty much. It's why this game feels completely different. Well, obviously it's deliberately different in some ways, But in terms of combat and flow of movement and funneling in on freedom of movement and all of these things, I think the vast difference is not, you know, they never sat down and especially not in like 2009 and 2010, right, when they were making the game. They never sat down and said, oh, this is supposed to be different. However. And I think they've diverged further over the years. They've been diverging, and you know, even with Path of Fire and mounts coming in, that divergence is only exacerbated, right? So yeah, it's kind of hindsight, but big however, I would say that in 2011, a year before release, all right, Guild Wars 2 was pretty much in place, and in some areas, it was even more divergent in specific places. Like, when it had, like, the Diablo leveling, and when it had energy potions, and when it had skill tiering, and when it had a lot of very traditional leveling RPG features that I think would have been positive forces for the game, but hadn't been over-designed out yet, right? There was a lot of that stuff. And at that exact moment, in 2011, it's not a precise point, it's like a whole year, right? At this moment in 2011, 2010, as they're removing energy potions, for example, it's so abundantly clear that the sequel is extremely different. And this is as the Winds of Change are coming out. There is content development team on Guild Wars 1 at this moment, okay? Guild Wars 2 isn't out yet. The Winds of Change campaign is going on. They've announced a plan for Guild Wars Beyond. And it's at this moment, there's a meeting where they decide, no, we're not going to do the Palawa Choco Elonan campaign. We're stepping away for good. It happened, and it was at a period where I do think all the fundamentals were in place to realize, hold on, these are pretty different games. We've even got like a bit of a structure going on here where both are being developed. Maybe let's do it. So the pinata is all the way over here, and I've almost missed it. In fact, I just freaked out and turned around because I was wondering if it was behind me. So maybe it's hindsight. It's definitely... Oh, he's invulnerable. Did we miss it then? Oh, I never helped burn and we missed it. Rip. Too busy ranting. It's definitely hindsight. Almost everything you'll hear from a streamer like me is hindsight, to be honest. And I think that's one of the greatest shames that people don't realize. I get to sit here. Let me not use the word streamer. Let me just use, like, critic, I guess, right? Or reviewer, right? It's really easy to say, the mastery system didn't work for X, Y, and Z. It's much harder to figure that out and guess it and sort it out before it comes out. And I will never claim to be smart enough or have the chops for that. That's what game development is. It's being that level above. It's being that god tier that can figure things out and anticipate stuff and have good enough QA. But it's very hard to have a QA team with a mindset for systems that last a long time and have an impact on gameplay over a long period. It's extremely difficult. Most people are like, oh, this is a bug in this little area, this specific thing. But, you know, actually being able to identify bumps in the road and invalidation of content and stuff over the long term, that shit's not easy. I can just see it as it's happening, I guess. I mean, sometimes you can tell. Like racial skills, I remember pre-release, the devs had given us one philosophy where they said, what had they said? They said utility skills are supposed to be like really high impact and build defining, and they're going to have long cooldowns, and they're going to be, you know, more important in a lot of ways than weapon skills. They said that, right? With the longer cooldowns thing. And then, like, in an interview a few months later, they said, oh, racial skills aren't supposed... They're utility skills, but they're not supposed to be that defining for the game. They're supposed to be, you know, just a bit of flavor for you. And I remember immediately going on the Guild Wars 2 Guru forums and be like, this is... So what? They're just always going to be rubbish, are they? They're just not going to do anything. How are they going to balance that? How can they be both? I remember being annoyed about that. And no one really sort of, you know, high-fived me on it. Nobody really cared. And look, they've ended up dead their entire time, you know. Anyway, right, so we've got 200. I could be boring and work my way down the list, but I guess I'll let you guys choose. What do you want, guys? Second person in chat. What do you want? The sand shark kite? I got to get all of these. It's going to take ages. Or we could save for the mini Zalenbur, or we could save for the pinata. But we could get sand shark, watermelon, skimmer, zebra, Green choya, blue choya, red choya. Which one do you want? All right, the second person said sand shark. It was from Dark. Okay, sand shark. So we're going the top. We're going ultra nerd mode here. All right, that took a bit longer than I thought it would, but that's fine. Okay, so we got that. Now, that's 2 of our characters. Let's now go to... who do we want to get on? Do I want to do Home Instance Gathering? Do I really want to? I guess I will, just to see with the Glyph of Reaping, because it's obscenely OP. I guess I'll check with the Glyph of Reaping out in Ratasum. Oh, what? Oh, I got my new collection. Oh, nice. Gorix messaged us. All right, well, we'll look at that as well in a second. But I want to do the racing as well today. So let's try the Ratasum Reap. And let's also charge some quartz, because you never know, I might need quartz for something coming up. I know, obviously, the Sky Scale stuff, but maybe something else within the scope of Master I need quartz. So... is Mistlock Sanctuary not working for anybody else? My game crashes when I log into character that's there, and that's the only one that's not there. I can't use the pass there. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a look at it in a second. You know, I could add a section here where I get onto my gobblers to each stream. Alright, so who's reaping right now? The login X. So let's grab this. Put it on here. This should be fine. Oh, wrong button. I've changed this hotkey again now. Okay, so we get that. Now, this is mining. If I go for the middle one, this could be like the dream here. You ready, guys? Oh, I got another mail. What's the second one? Oh, it's another person wanting to join Spud. Good morning, WP. I'd like to open this letter by saying how much I appreciate the work you have put. I will read this and I'll respond to this. If it's an app for Spud, I will respond to that a little bit later. So it looks like this is out of range. No, oh, wait. I messed it up. I put it on the login X. Look, once I'm good at this... Oh, no, I messed it up so badly, we're not going to be able to do it now. Ah. I swear that would have worked. Yeah, no, we're now out of range. Oh, no, we did get it. No, we did get it. Hype. Okay, hold on. If I go this Aurelium, we getting the baubles? We're getting the baubles. We got all the way over to that gold. It's pretty up. And now if I get this Mistonium... Do we get all the way over to the platinum? Look. Getting a Mistonium node. Ah, no. But it's like there's added value, guys. Alright? Because now I can more efficiently reap. That's hilarious. Okay, that's pretty good. These crystals are so isolated that I don't think they're ever going to really mean anything. Very off topic and random, but the difference between the Sky Scale and the Griffin is the difference between a swan and a falcon. Comparing the two is very silly. It's much better to compare Sky Scale to a more versatile skimmer raptor Springer combination. Is that just something you feel you want to say? That's not a reaction to me, is it? Have I compared them in an unhealthy way? Wait. Okay, so we take reaping off of this. Throw it onto this. There's a new glyph in the gem store. You have to pick up... Wait, is this... No, it's chopping. There's a new glyph. You have to pick up the Aurene... No, not Aurene. The Sky Scale skin. But if you do it, you get...
You seek knowledge.
I mean, this one's okay. You get AoE gathering. No, you just wanted your opinions to be validated because we all know that if WP reads something from chat, he personally agrees with it. Is that true? They're similar in theme. Are they similar in theme? What is their theme? Airborne creature. To be honest, I have to admit, I don't really know. As far as traditional fantasy concepts go, I don't really know much about griffins. They're in that weird category of fantasy creature to me that just feels like a bit like centaurs, I guess. Like really classical fantasy creature where people have just mixed together existing stuff, you know. And it's not really much deeper than that. That's as far as I understood. I didn't know if there was, like, you know, concepts that griffins embody, and, you know, when a griffin appeared in classic literature, it usually was a symbol of bravery or things like this, you know. I don't really understand it any deeper than that. Hello, Johnman42. Welcome. And, like, chimeras as well, you know. I think of those as being similar. There's a lot of stuff that's literally like, okay, it's the body of a human with the head of a crow, or the body of a crow with the head of a snake. Could I outrun a centaur? With the mounts, definitely. There you go. You were trying to be witty and interesting, but everyone says that ever, so you weren't. So I did the job for you. I was witty and interesting by subverting your expectation that I would ignore your message, and instead I gave you a sincere answer to a stupid discussion. How'd you like that, Game of Thrones viewers? Okay. They were out of range slightly. Okay, so this section of veggies isn't perfect, but this one's good. Did you know there is currently alive harpies in the world? Okay, indulge me. Indulge me. Where are these living harpies? Are they a variety of bat? Maybe? Why don't we have centaur mounts? I think, I genuinely... Well, no, it's not this. First of all, I think it would look a bit goofy. Second of all, I think it's the lore. Okay, by the way, does anyone know off the top of their head what is most efficient for me to select on these Black Lion boards? These here. Does anyone know? Oh, the harpy eagles? Like, I've always just gone blood on this, which is not a selectable thing because I've already got it toggled. So keep gathering vials of blood. I just go blood. And then this one, I don't know actually. What do I have? I'm on dry top and the silver wastes right now. Maybe there's a better one. Maybe I should try Bitter Frost. Maybe I should just look at my resources, my unique currency, and go with that. Do you think they'll do expedition boards for Season 4 now as well? Do you think they'll pick one of those up? Someone in chat said Bitter Frost as well, and that was my instinct. I don't know why, so I'll just go Bitter Frost. I always feel like Bitter Frost is extra rewarding, but only because for the longest time you used to trigger your Bitter Frost berry collector daily by picking up the berries in this home instance, and that just made me think that it was better than it actually was. Okay. Alright. Deposit. Oh, that one always feels satisfying. Okay, now that's pretty boring though, so I don't know whether we really want to do that too much on the stream. Okay, so roller beetle races. Who do I want to race on? I guess we can do it on lists. Why not? I like the idea of opening this whole series, like in its earliest days, which is where we are. Doing a lot on my main. Or my old main, I guess. I like that idea. Okay, so I've got to do like 10 loops of every race. So the question is, do we want to do one loop of each race today and then tomorrow do it again and tomorrow? Or do we want to just do all 10 loops of a single one today, thus dinging it, and then we'll do all 10 of another one? What do you guys think? Maybe I'll do 2 loops of every course a day? No, that feels grindy to me. All right, I'm just gonna finish them day by day. Oh, Reg, dude, Reg donated $10. Reg, thank you so much, man. You guys have been extra generous these past couple of days. Thank you very, very, very much, man. That's really awesome of you, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what curious me? The color and story for Living World Season 5. If it's going to be red, purple, it attaches to Path of Fire, but it will be bluish. You're talking about here. I hope that it will be the same color. I think that if it was a purple block, I think that's good. So you got like grey default, then you got green, then you got purple. Also, if they make it purple, it will just it will identify one thing about Path of Fire, that you get more value out of this expansion, you know? That's something that the devs should find a way to talk about, you know? Like, there's ways that they can spin anything that happens. You can spin anything that happens to be good. And the way you spin this, the fact we're not going immediately into expansion is, well, look all the value you're getting out of Path of Fire. Look how many stories we're telling in Path of Fire with the Path of Fire mounts and so on. Look at this. I'm getting back into the game. What did they do to Condi War? I heard they massacred my boy. Well, they changed a lot of the Berserker interactions recently. I'm actually really sad about that now. I haven't talked about it on a stream or a video, so I may as well do it here. It was okay. In PvP and World vs. World, and I'm going to talk just about PvP, the Greatsword triple cast change was like crazy, right? Like, it would cause Berserkers to like wipe entire teams in low-rated queues. It was amazing. It was super fun. It was like this crazy nuke of an ability, okay? And you could orient it in ways that you could, like, cast the skill twice back-to-back. And you could do it while you're unblockable. And there was even a really mega combo where you could try and do it under stab as well, right? Which was really good. So it was this super big thing. But it's a gimmick build, right? That anytime you go slightly high, and it was reliant largely on the Signet of Fury. A lot of people would do it on Signet of Fury. Signet telegraphs are like really clear, really fun. And so it was, you know, like if I was playing Spellbreaker and I queued into one of these guys, you'd always see like the Signet, and you knew you could just kite away a bit or get the full counter in them right as they're doing it, thus interrupting them, or, you know, use your little disrupting stab on the Dagger 3. Or if I was playing Fresh Air, then I would know, again, just to super speed away for a bit. Like, you could outplay these. You could counterplay them so comfortably. And listen, guys, the most fun in PvP is where you outplay someone because you specifically reacted to a thing, all right? I guess I'll just do the race here. Here we go. I'll queue up. So, like, that's what really feels super satisfying. And that Berserker build with the greatswords felt like that. It really did. So, I actually think it was a positive thing for the game. I knew I was going to... Look, we're not going to do this very well here because I'm out of practice on this. Again, though, we don't need gold, so it's sort of whatever. It was good. It was genuinely good. Probably a bit bloated for, like, gold tier and lower. But, oh, no, we overshot that one. But it was good. And there was some meaning from the Berserker overhaul, because suddenly there were Berserkers around, right? That's the thing I'm trying to say there. That there was a bit of meaning, it was worth something. So at that point, I think the patch was okay. Obviously, it was really wonky that the Greatsword was the only big burst of value people were interested in. I've seen like one Berserker playing Condi that was actually decent in all my time since that patch. And it was very recently, actually. It was a couple of days ago. But even they like rotated really weirdly. But anyway, the point was... It was okay, and so obviously the Greatsword burst was like really wonky and out of control compared to all the others, so it is an imbalance. And on those grounds, you can definitely nerf the Greatsword change. But they came back, they nerfed it, and now you just don't see any anymore. So now it's like the update didn't really mean anything, which is a real shame. What I want to see the developers do is, yes, nerf the Greatsword burst, because that one was a massive outlier compared to the others. All right, so that's correct. And now that you're in a more healthy place where all the bursts are a little bit more uniform in their potency, now give Berserker specialization a little something more to chew on. And keep it in that place, though, that it was before, where it's just like this stupid, like, nukey kind of silly thing. Because you can get just so many fun interactions out of that, you know? You can duo queue with a skilled player that like stealth bombs you in and stuff. You can do fun things, gimmicky things, but fun things, you know, and it's entertaining and it's the spice of life. And so yeah, like that update, I'm actually looking back on quite sadly now because I just feel like they got a tiny little something out of it and now they've got nothing. So next balance, I'm really hoping for refinements to what they've done to Berserker to improve it a little further. So that we see these juicy new animations and bursts actually being used. And yeah, another casualty of the patch was that Condi Berserker went down a bit. There is one thing that came out of the patch. To be fair, if you're a PvEer, the damage buffs are still there for the Greatsword Burst. So there's like a new Berserker you can run in raids. I think it's a little bit more selfish. I don't think it does quite as much for the team in terms of, you know, might gen and maybe it compromises on banners or something. I don't know, but it's definitely a thing. So PvE had a... Oh, okay, does each lap here in this race count? Does it tick up my achievement? I hope it does. And yeah, we're doing Brisbane, the longest one. The other ones are shorter, obviously, but we'll do the longest one first. I think that was a bad boost timing, yeah. It's alright, we recovered slightly. That's not too bad. Makes this boost pretty easy. Could have gone between those posts. That would have looked really elegant, but never mind. That was pretty good as well. Let's get out to go to the right for a second. Well, it's not bad. Yeah, I don't think I can ramble much more about Berserker. Those are my thoughts on all of that so far. Oh god, I was so scared I was going the wrong way there. I completely didn't recognize where I was. And I will say, you know, it's nice to think, okay, when they nerfed the burst, they should have buffed at the exact same moment, right? It's nice to say that and think about that, but you do have to do things incrementally. You do have to do them incrementally. You have to know if in a vacuum the Greatsword Burst has gone down now and it's more in line with the others. And then you have to know in a vacuum as you slowly tune the elite spec up. So here's my question, though. Obviously... Oh, no, that bush. I thought I could go under it. Although it wouldn't have collision. That's like the really classic bush that people hit, right? So anyway, here's my question. What would you guys do as sort of a wholesale refinement to that specialization line that pulls its Condi variants up a bit for the competitive formats, and its like bursty variants up? So what quality of life does it need versus how do we get its like damage into a more interesting place or whatever? Does it need more you know, like one thing that Spellbreaker just does so well is giving itself might. Because it can sustain well enough to land more attacks to build might through Forceful Greatsword. But then it also gets the Mage Bane Tether combo on a lot of its variants, which is just crazy might generation too. So, you know, it just gets all this value and all this might gen, which means that quite often on a Spellbreaker, you're like there's more opportunities to burst people with like insane damage, like 10k Greatsword F1s and stuff. And Berserker like doesn't even get the regular F1 anymore. And its Berserk version might not go as high as 10k. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers are like doing 2 of them back to back. They're going like Greatsword Burst, full counter over the body, Greatsword Burst, you know. And oh look, I just did 20k cleave in genuinely like 3 animations that took about as long. Oh, we're well off course on this one. We can course correct though. So you know that's what you're competing with there. WP, any tips for going for a first legendary Gen 1? If you're doing it just for the sake of having a legendary and you don't actually care what it is and all that, the underwater ones are the best in terms of cost effectiveness. You can do a precursor collection to build your own precursor, and some of them are really fun, especially if you go... the really cheap ones are underwater weapons. In fact, you'll see me getting those on Guild Wars 2 Master. I've not done any of those, but I know they're really cheap to get the underwater pre's through the collections. And yeah, it's all AP and, you know, unlocks that I need for this. So at some point we'll be doing that on these streams. I wouldn't wait for me though, because it will be a bit off in the distance. And some of those collections are really fun too. I really like the hammer one. The Gen 1 hammer, I think Juggernaut, it's got a cool chrome effect that tweaks like it's another element of Fashion Wars. And also it gives you an ooze item in the precursor collection chain that lets you put that chromatic effect on any of your characters anywhere. So it's pretty cool. No. I tried pressing the jump hotkey, but nothing happened. So yeah, immediately after that Berserker nerf as well, I thought maybe it's not as bad as it seems, but it really was quite bad. Like they really lost a lot of damage. It was an enormous swing up and then an enormous swing down. Doesn't make the devs look very competent, I'll tell you that much. Even if their practices are okay, the actual like implementation is good. Like, why is it that the greatsword got such special treatment? Are they just that, you know, out of the loop? Like, I mean, even just in the raw numbers, they could see that the greatsword one was an insane outlier. Yeah, exactly, Valen, you're right, exactly. It was already even pre-nerf, it was a place where if I was getting a Berserker on my team, I was thinking, oh, fuck. I really hope people support that well. It's two things. It's not just that it was kind of bad against bad players, right? But it's that the player base in general don't have like that. If you're in queues, they don't have like that tournament mentality where they really think enough about their allies. And you know, like if you solo queue in on a Scourge in ranked, even well up through Plat 2 and Plat 3 quite often, unless you explicitly have a firebrand on your team who knows it's his role to help, a lot of people just sort of, they don't give a fuck. They don't think about line backing. They don't think about like supporting the players that really need it and providing pills for the players that they really need. You know, they'll react to things, and as you climb, people will react to stuff more readily, and you know, they'll be more aware. But they don't think specifically enough about like exact builds that really need what they need. And so you've already got like, it's a bit murky waters for most people already in that department. And then you add New Balance, and this greatsword build, it was 100% one of those builds that needed the stealth pills, that needed you know, the empowers, and needed, you know, the lines of warding to help it kite around. It needed everything it could get, okay? It needed, like, full-on support to be able to pull off its gimmick. and, you know, and people don't sort of snap into that super quickly. And so, you know, you got all these factors that pull it down. I think the community is much quicker to learn how to counterplay a build than it is to learn how to support a build. Let me put it that way. Or how actively some builds need support versus others. So I think the nerf is justified in as much as, hey, it was a massive outlier. But was it justified? But now we need to pull them all up. Now we need to pull them up. And did anyone offer any suggestions? What were the suggestions? Let's see. Because I cannot say, oh, put a damage modifier on everything. Like, because they already have a GM trait that's 20% boosted damage. And that feels kind of bad, honestly, as well. It feels bad to be locked into a raw DPS trait like that for a Grandmaster when there's all the playmaking potential is on the others. It feels really bad. I don't like being in that situation in PvP. And, like, if you look at other like, if you're a Spite Reaper, okay, you're never going to take close to death in PvP. You're going to take the utility of, like, Spite procs when you go into F1, right? Or you're going to take something that does things. So, the fact, if a Berserker feels like they need a 20% modifier to be competitive in their role, then the class is just not fundamentally, the bursts themselves are not based at a high enough level or whatever. That's kind of what Ellie feels like a lot of the time too. If you're playing glassy Ellie variants, it's like, oh, this is what I actually need, but I can't take it because you have to squeeze out every little bit of pressure that you can, because they've just nerfed and nerfed and nerfed its output. So now it's in a weird place where it's kind of like, not enough quality of life anymore. Have I ever considered live streaming on YouTube? No, because if you're a Twitch partner, which I am, doesn't that sort of say you can't do that? So, yeah. Yeah, no recommendations. I mean, that's the thing. Identify the problem, but not the solution, right? Okay, that's finished. So what we're going to do now is... what would you think if ArenaNet raised HP numbers by like 10 times or so for PvP? At least Fights don't feel satisfying and tactical because current meta is like stun the enemy and burst them down in 2 seconds with 100 condies. Dudes, that is not the reality of the game right now. That is not the reality at all. The game can be very tactical. It depends on the circumstance of the team fight you're in and the compositions, but things can get extremely tanky already at the current values, all right? If you're getting bursted down in 2 seconds with hundreds of condies, it's because your positioning is off, and it's because you don't know what animations to watch for. It's not that... I mean, there is a lot of... But there's power creep everywhere, and I think most people would agree that there's a lot of... But if you deck-tupled everyone's health, it would not make the game good. It would make the game horrendous. That is really bad, man. 10 times more health. You're proposing people running around on, like, what even is that health? On like over 150,000 health at least. Oh my god. What about splitting HP pools between elite specs rather than entire classes? I think that would create some solutions. I do think there's some fundamental imbalances with the game right now. Hold on, let me before I get too chatty, I really got to make some progress here. So side stories, roller beetle racing. So Brisbane Wildlands. Oh, I thought it was 10. It's actually 15 loops you have to do. All right, well, let's get on it. Let's do it. I might seriously run out of things to say here, by the way, guys. So, so you're going to have to keep the conversation going. It wouldn't just make thieves irrelevant. I mean, Jesus. How much time do you need to realize maybe I should kite? Can you imagine that? That's like being -2, and it's been like 10 seconds, and now your health's like, you're almost dead, so you're like, oh. Do you know what's really sad? What's genuinely sad is even if they deck-tupled the health, right, and people had all this time while outnumbered to realize they're in danger, the average player still would not realize or would not attempt to flee and to sustain themselves until they're pretty much dead. It actually wouldn't change a vast majority of players, because it's just at the gate they don't realize how to play at all. So you can give them all the time in the world, they'll still just let themselves get grinded down. All that extra time, it doesn't actually matter. That's what people don't get about PvP. Most of it's about positioning and being proactive and thinking about what's coming, rather than it is about reacting to what's coming. Yes, there's a big degree of reaction, but it's not all just like Twitch mechanics and reaction speeds. It's about the anticipation and reading the situation and knowing things as they're coming. And so yeah, even if you deck-tupled the health, you would still have these like ridiculous situations. That's all it would essentially do, though. It would buy people like insane amounts of time to kite. PvP should have a complete overhaul. It doesn't need a complete overhaul. It does not need a complete overhaul. I'll tell you what needs a complete overhaul. The community. I know that sounds like a joke and something stupid, and I'm just throwing it out there. But what I mean by that is people need to be taught how it works and how to enjoy it and what's actually going on with it. There's just nothing. There's limited, and I mean native in-game stuff. And it's got a very unfortunate reputation where people don't give it the time of the day either to learn. They won't click on a YouTube video guide that's a PvP tutorial. They won't go to someone's amazing website that they've built with all these guides and builds and, you know, fundamental pieces of information. They won't do it. There's like a little secular, insular little community of people who like PvP and watch the PvP streams, and not often do new people come into it. And like, it's sort of, I have my opinion about that, and it doesn't change. No. I'm not. I don't like PvP. No. No, you can give me all these arguments that it's actually good. I don't like it. I decided I don't like it, and you can't change my mind. That's basically the world for 95% of people. And in a lot of ways, it's the game's fault. It's the game's fault because the game tells people, hey, it's okay. Don't worry. You don't have to PvP. Don't worry. Look, I won't tell you about the cool gizmos. I won't tell you about the automated tournaments. I won't, don't worry about it. Here, look. Here's some unidentified rare gear. Ooh, yeah, there. Okay, good. Isn't that fun? Don't worry about PvP. There are mean people there. So, yeah, it's on the game, but it's actually about how people think about the format. and consume it. And it's about not expecting it to be like the PvP you find elsewhere and stuff like that. And I say that, right, because I have fun in there. It is fun. It's genuinely good. It's fun. And I'm not some, like, ludicrously wacky out of touch guy, right, when it comes to this. It is fun. It's just, it's a lot to ask people to find the fun. And that's kind of the thing. But it's in the minds of the community that there's stuff that's wrong with it. I mean, and this is coming from someone who kind of hates Conquest in a lot of ways, and has always talked about how he doesn't like Conquest, okay? My opinion on these things goes back and forth over the years, but that's not that I'm, that's not that I don't care or I don't think hard about it. It's precisely because I care and because I think hard about it. And I try to see the virtue in the other side of the coin. Yeah, it's not dead either. The person saying it's dead anyway. I don't play it, but it's dead anyway, so whatever. That's not true either. It's not dead. It's enough to get a queue any time of the day. It's good. It's enough to get the tournaments rolling at any point, the monthlies. It's enough to build a stream channel around to the degree that you can build any content around Guild Wars 2. It's not dead. Just because you're not playing it and you don't get it doesn't mean it's dead. Just because it's not the height it was during Heart of Thorns doesn't mean it's not dead. Doesn't mean it is dead, sorry. It doesn't mean it's not dead. Oh, I messed up. Whoops. I admit it. It's dead. When you stuck with Conquest for so long, you better like it. Yeah, it's Stockholm Syndrome. Famey says, oh, did you know... It's really hard to read stream chat while beetle racing. Did you know, just before you went off somewhere yesterday, someone donated 500 gold to the prize pool? The entire pool was 850 gold plus skins and dyes. Shadow won over 150 gold. Oh my god. Wait. Famey, did they do that privately to you and just in chat? Please tell me that didn't happen on stream and they wanted, like, people to see it. And then I just logged off and I was like, whatever. Please tell me that didn't happen, because if that happened, I feel really bad. But that's amazing. That's really cool. Man, people can be so generous just out of nowhere. Wait, you just said yes. Wait. So was it a private thing or yes to what? By the way, if anyone's feeling frustrated, I'm not doing this super efficient. I'm not actually going for gold. I think we're only just missing it, but well, not necessarily. I'm going slow. I'm doing this for the 15 loops achievement. And this is the longest one. They posted just before you went off. Oh, really? Well, who was it? What was their name? What do you mean someone? Who was it? Let's give them a big shout out. You haven't played Guild Wars 2 in forever and the races look fun? They are. They're really fun. They're really smooth. The handling's good. You do them 15 times in a row, but believe me, you're going to start, you know, getting a feel for them.
Be careful if you're headed west.
Oh, it's very cool having NPCs speak to me as I whiz past them as well. I can't believe they created such a smooth track through the wildlands. Like, it feels so good. I wonder how long they deliberated on this. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. I was looking at chat and I accidentally pressed the spacebar. Which is my boost. Someone said, I find it overwhelming. Yeah, like, it's overwhelming. Like, these are valid criticisms. It's absolutely overwhelming. It's extremely overwhelming. In fact, if you look at a lot of good players, they'll, like, fuck with their shaders and stuff just so that they can cull away as much stuff as possible and see what's only, you know, necessarily good. You know, there's, like, a lot of things like that. There's a lot of things you might end up doing in PvE that would just make you a horrendous PvP player and you don't realize, like, in terms of, like, graphic settings and stuff. Like, if you play on a big monitor and you have a small UI scale, you're, like, completely ruining your awareness of various things in PvP, because you kind of got to squint. You got to move your eyes more to be able to see, oh, is there stability on that character right as I execute the CC, or is there ages here? Is there, you know, like, there's just like lots of little things like that you wouldn't think about, but they just sort of drag you down and they make the game more cumbersome than it has to be. That's sort of a consequence of this being in an MMO though, where people have like crazy control over their clients and how they run them. Okay, it was Mox B donated 100 gold and Dylar donated 500 gold. Are they in chat today? I don't know whether they are because that stream was, you know, about 12 hours ago. You know, it's kind of weird, guys. I've streamed, 12 hours later streamed, 12 hours later streamed, and it doesn't feel like that at all, honestly. Because they're all so short, you know. But, yeah, thanks very much to both of you guys. I don't know if you'll watch this on the VOD. That's really, really, really lovely of you both. Really sweet. Okay, let's go. Oh, we did that cleanly. I think this is the first time so far today that I've done that bit cleanly. Alright, well, we got that boost, and we'll regain the energy here, right? Not too clean. I guess I'll proc this. That was pretty clean as well. This is a gold run right now, by the way. This is a genuine gold run. I don't know whether we'll keep it up. Now suddenly I'm determined to reclaim. Oh, actually, mind you, gold was really tricky on this, if I remember. I do remember that stream where we did this for the first time. So this boost is going to be a bit late. I think we'll be okay. If we make sure we hang on the right. Yeah, that was pretty good. Oh, we had some serious speed going through that. Getting up this as well. Don't hit the bush. You know, maybe next time there's content like this, I shouldn't reset every time I feel like I've made a small mistake. Maybe I should just keep doing cycles. Because doing that, I've suddenly become alright at this. Just completing the full loop. How many times? This is what, maybe our 4th one or something? That one was tricky. I had to reposition my mouse at the same time as well. Benji is still making grow lamps daily. Nice. Yeah, maybe I should do that too. I keep bobbing around the 3,000 gold level and then like losing money and then building more and then losing money and then building more. Benji. Oh, it's good to see you, Benji, by the way. Hope I had a lovely birthday. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was alright. It was a really nice birthday, actually. I'm sort of at that age where I sort of don't think about it or care about it, but I did a stream on that day, and it was no rip golds. That is pretty brutal. I mean, we can reclaim to a certain degree, but that was pretty bad. Gold is running out in 3, 2. It just ran out there, and I missed that dome there as well. That was a gold run. If I never went up that tree, we would have got gold there. Damn. I was trying to go through that hole. I haven't quite figured that one out. That's 26 best of the day. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about it, and then we had that lovely stream. Why would I want to stop doing the adventure and swap for the race, by the way? Is there a reason for that? Do I get, like, more stuff if I do that? You might want to fit some races on occasion for those novelties. Yeah, Valen said that earlier, and then I never read the response to why, what the daily gate is on this. I guess I'll look at the vendor in a second. And all should become clear. Oh, the race gives currency. Oh, I see. Race lets you do 3 laps in succession, so you can go a bit quicker with it. That's true as well.
Be careful if you're headed.
I'm estimating we're probably on what, like lap 11 or 12 right now? Out of 15. What big features do you wish for in a Living World season? Features in a Living World season. That's an excellent question, man. That's like a video-worthy question. What does the landscape of the season look like, kind of thing? Because you've got so much, you know, that like they want to change things up a bit. Largely, what I'd like to see them do is refine existing systems a bit more, like map bonus, you know, rewards and stuff. I'd like to see core Tyrian areas really get some love. and some interesting things. What they specifically said on that blog post was expanding existing maps rather than adding new ones. Now that really thrills me. You know, I've always had this idea, you guys might know, I've talked about it a few times, the idea of like redoing the personal story and fixing up the leveling and adding like leagues to PvE and all these things, right? I've always thought that one of the best ways, because that's old content, one of the best ways for the devs to do that would be to package it with actual new stuff in Corteria as well, like new dynamic events being added, but even better, like expanding the initial maps just a little bit. Like, so Queensdale, there's a place to the left of Queensdale that I think you would basically call Lake Regent, maybe, or maybe that's to the left of DR. I don't remember right now. Like, I'm not very good with that route there. And so here's the thing. What if I hang on the right and then... That one worked, sort of. But, like, there's the whole mausoleum where we found Rot Scale in Guild Wars 1, and then in the Warring Crater we go underground. There's all that stuff there, but we've never been there. And it's not a very big chunk of the map. Here, I'm going to pause just for a second, reset. I know that the race is going on. Let me just, look, it's better if I show this. So, what if they just expand Queensdale to this? That's basically what I'm saying. Then we get the mausoleum and stuff. You just expand Queensdale a bit. That's pretty exciting to me. What if they just expand Metrica Province to cover this instead of adding a new map? Or maybe they expand Metrica down here to get us that bit of the Tarnished Coast. And you might think that's crazy, WP. That's just as much work. But compared to the size of these other maps... Oh, no, that's still pretty huge, what I just said. But, you know, you expand Timberline Falls into this bit of the mountains, right? Just make Timberline Falls bigger so we fill in that gap. People have wanted that for ages, right? The gaps on the map to fill in. And maybe this is their opportunity. So the thing is, I've missed the very start of the race. So will I get kicked out now? It looks like it just gave me... I guess the race has 10 minutes total. And I have... missed the first 50 seconds. But yeah, I think that would be an interesting feature of the season, in accordance with what they said on that blog post. Yeah, I mean, it has yeah, fixed the Brisbane Bandit Bridge. It has like weird consequences though if they do anything too big in terms of like map comp. But you know, there's first it was showcased in Ember Bay. Do you remember in Ember Bay, guys, where there's that tent that you find Robin in? Now that tent, if you right at the start of the patch, if you attempt to walk into that tent, you are pushed back by an invisible force field that says no, you can't enter until you finish the heart. You help the Skrit out in the area, and then they let you in, and then you can see Robin. And then they utilized that technique again. In quite a recent map, they've been doing that. The Astralarium had a similar thing in Istan, where you can't enter the giant room in there until you've finished a part of the story. So what if they're just locked off until you're playing Live and Nod Season 5? So the default leveling experience doesn't necessarily change much, but there's this exciting new passageway new players will see that they can't access yet. Kind of like the entrance to Lake Doric, right? A new player will go to Divinity's Reach. They'll go on their like early tour of the city in their first couple of hours of playing, and they'll see there's this big portal and a big giant red X there saying can't go there yet. That's a later story. That's a later adventure. Well, what if you were just running into that a little bit more? You know, I'm an advocate of that. Just as much as I am for masteries to be everywhere around the world. So maybe they can find ways to implement it like that. You know, they've got these tools. They can do stuff like this. Oh, God. If Season 5 ends up about Scarlet again, I think that'll be a mistake. Oh, clean up the bits of the Breachmaker and get rid of the probes and stuff. Nah. That would feel extremely directionless. What's super important, okay, is their next release has big direction. It, like, moves somewhere fast. I do think we might be in for a bit of a waiting game, though. Do you know why I think this patch might have come out a little bit slower than you'd expect? Not just because they needed more time for it, but probably because they needed more time as well for the Season 5 stuff. Maybe? Oh, maybe not, actually. Maybe Season 5 was already being done and so on. Alright, lap 2. I might run out of time, you know. 6 minutes 30. Let's go back to old LA. No, 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 look. This is the thing. Old LA's in-game, man. Old LA is in-game. They don't need to do anything about old LA. What they need to do is make it interesting to play the story on repeat. And what they need to do is encourage people to make new characters and have reasons for that stuff. Then you'll be going back to old LA all the time. I spent loads of time in old LA in 2018 and 2019. Why? Because I was playing the personal story. Because I was doing all the different instances of that. It's in-game. Just because you've made that decision. This is bad. Just because you've made that decision that content's not worth it to you anymore, doesn't mean it's not in game. It is in game. They've got a perfect solution for it. They don't need to do anything to Lion's Arch to bring back old LA. They don't need to do it as a gathering hub. They don't need to do it as a guild hall. They don't need to do any of it. It's in game. If players aren't interfacing with it much, it's because of the game. It's because of how it's packaged, where it is. They just need to re-incentivize that a bit. What we need to do is blow LA up again. That's an interesting thought, you know. If they blew it up again, it's kind of like, okay, well, what story instances would we have in Disneyland LA? Wouldn't you only have, like, one? Wouldn't that only be the prologue to Path of Fire? Is that the only place you go to Lion's Arch? I think it is, right? Because I was thinking about this, with my upcoming Living World Season 2 content, Lion's Arch gets rebuilt in the middle of those chapters, but the chapters themselves never take you there or talk about it. Season 1 talks a ton about Lion's Arch. It's basically all about Lion's Arch. It's about the people who live there and the Captain's Council and all that. So it's about, you know, even when the Bazaar of the Four Winds comes on, it's about how Lion's Arch wants to capitalize and invest with them and broker trade deals and stuff. It's about Lion's Arch. And then Season 2 comes, and Lion's Arch is going through a hell of a time. Like, it's rebuilding and stuff and going through these major moments. And you don't see it anywhere, really, during Season 2. And then, you know, Heart Thorns, and we just kind of move on. So, the only time that the Living World has ever taken, or an expansion, has ever taken us to Lion's Arch is that one bit, isn't it? So, that's the one moment you'd see Disney LA. And that's even more shoddy than the personal stories, you know, little glimpses you have at Pirate LA. It's a bit of a waste of the Bond of Mastery there, but we got 50% of an endurance bar, so it's not too bad. Okay, we got 3 minutes. Basically, I have to not mess up if I want to make it through this third lap. Oh, no, we finished. Yeah, final lap, here we go. Oh, but I finished the achievement. I'll try and do this for the currency. All right, so here we go. This is like the bonus round. And we'll do it for this currency. But if I crash, I don't think I'm going to get there. Are the timings this tight for all the other races? Or did they have a uniform time limit for all of them? Jesus, look, people are finishing that lap already. That's crazy. People are at the end right now. Okay, 3 minutes. I think, actually, if I have 3 minutes from right now, I should be okay. Unless there's any major mistakes. I should be okay. You know what? I should have done this stream yesterday. Because then I would have been ready for the Guildhall adventure. So hold on the right. Drift a little bit there. Straight back down. I think we're one boost less than we could have been right now. Oh, look, look, we're going for the overtake. Oh, baby. How's that guy going so slow? That was all downhill. Maybe he didn't have much speed going up. Maybe he doesn't have the masteries. I feel bad for that guy. He's struggling like I am. I'm getting a move on. You want to get moving, mate. I'm going to try and go down really harsh here. The reason why I've been avoiding... And I'm not going to boost here. The reason why I've been going really late on that is because it's sort of downhill when you land. So I kind of want to minimize my downhill activity. This is a terrible one to miss too. Someone just said in squad chat. Alright. By the way, if I press my second utility skill right now, it's currently hotkeyed to C. Do I just insta-fail the whole thing? Because the second you get off of the beetle, you're done for. Okay, I think we'll make it. Even with that, and even if we grind up this tree here, which I really hope we don't go through there, I think we'll make it, because we've got over a minute left. And there's only unless I do something crazy, like fall into that cliff there on the left. It's kind of a nasty trap at the end, really. Alright, yeah. It was not as scary as it seemed. Brilliant. Okay, so I get 10 racing medallions. Now, this is the currency. So, the mini roller beetle. Oh my god, there's so many novelties. Mystery dog tonic. See how many dogs we can get out of this. 1 dog, 2 dog, 3 dog, 4 dog, 5. Oh, you can become a warg. 5 dog, 6 dog, 7 dog, a Basenji. Alright, there's 7 different dogs. That's pretty cool. The mystery choya. This is every type of choya. Oh. Choya. Oh my god, there's so many choya related items. The dancing choya, or we can become this choya, and this choya, and this choya. Okay, there's only 3 of those. Mystery bears. Oh, I keep doing that. 1 bear. So we got grizzly, we got polar, we got arctidus, we got black, we got panda. A full-sized panda. Oh, there's never been a full-sized panda in the game. Oh, I kind of like that. I've never seen anyone running around with that either. That would turn heads. If you were running around as a panda, like a full-on panda out in open world, that would turn heads, because that is not an actual mob anywhere in all of Guild Wars 2. So, and I've never seen someone running around on that. That's kind of cool. Cantha confirmed. Yeah, maybe. Oh, the polar bear looks horrible. Look at that small little head. I didn't realize they'd done so much detail on the different kinds of pandas. Like, pandas, bears. Look at how small this head is. What is this versus the polar bear, by the way? Is this a polar bear? If this is a polar bear, then what's this guy? Just a different kind. And then you got birds. We got the mystery fowl. Oh, I kind of want this one. Oh, it's the most expensive. Oh my god, look at all the detail. Look at the detail. Look at these beautiful cocks. Actually, are these what? So is this is male, right? Is this one? Are these? So it's chickens and roosters, right? It's a shame that their feet are like blending into the ground. I didn't realize they had that clipping issue on the preview there. That's a shame. Okay, and then you got racing helmets. These don't look very good. Do I need to buy a different one for every profession, or will it unlock them all at once? And the mini roller beetle. Now, this guy could be cool if he actually rolls along with us. Plus, it makes me think of Guild Wars 1. Okay, then there's the decorations, which we bought billions of for the event. And then concessions. So we can ignore this tab for now. Sorry, Guild, but, you know, Guild Wars 2 Masters got to come first. And I guess... Look, I want the bear tonic. I'm not being funny. I want the bear tonic. And we only need a couple more medallions. So it's... I wasn't actually planning on doing this. We were going to go to Dragonfall next. But I will... I'll get another one. So let's do the Gendarin race. And just get a couple more medallions. And then we'll run around as a panda. I skipped the cat tonic. Oh, did I really? I swear there's already a mystery cat tonic in the game, though. Isn't there? I swear that's always been a thing. The cat mania has led to that being a thing years ago. I'm pretty sure. Alright, so there's no race right now, but what I'll do is I'll set up the time trial. Going for speed. Get on the beetle. And then hopefully once we finish this... Well, actually, hold on. Let me verify I haven't beaten this already. I have... Oh, no. Yeah, okay, Gendarin. So we're already 6 out of 15. I felt like I'd done this quite a lot. So this is the next closest one. We get 10 medallions for beating this. I don't know whether we'll beat that. I would rather get the reward from the racing event itself. Alright, so yeah. Anyway, alright. So we can go. Gotta do a lot more. Oh, are people in the tonics down there? That's cool. Yeah, this one's shorter than the other one, if I remember rightly. They're all shorter than Brisbane. Brisbane was the really long one. Probably the easiest one is the Snowdon one, because it's an extremely short technical loop. I've actually already beat that. I got that in the process of hunting for gold. Seriously. That one I took a long time on. I think, again, Darren, this is kind of like the first one, isn't it? Isn't this like the noob one? Now, remember that developer advice that boosting is rarely the thing that you need to do. Not boosting. Drifting is rarely what you need to do. Just try to not drift as much as possible. Just focus on your racing lines. Now, this I was always messing up in the past, so... Yeah, and I messed it up here as well. Rip. Okay, I guess it doesn't kick us out. Alright, as far as recoveries go, it was alright, but not the best. I do like this, right? Like, the sky scales come out, and there's no way the sky scale's ever going to speed you through this. The roller beetle will always be the fastest way through this. The griffin won't beat you through this. Alright, so we... Oh, look, we even got gold there. Only 65th best for the day, but... Okay, no race is going on here either, so I guess we'll just keep going with it. Pro tip, bump into the hill next to the bridge. Just bump into it, really? Shippage says, I do think that the sky scale's a little... Why did I get... Oh, there you go. Look, we just get flooded with medallions. Ah, hold on. So that's the daily thing, right? So that's the cap. It's get the gold reward every day and the silver reward and the bronze reward every day. This is how you get max medallions. All right, I understand everything now. So, in truth, what I should probably do is I should do... Well, he's going to take 2 minutes to trigger that. No, we'll do the full set then. Hold on, guys. We'll do the full set. Well, I'm not going to get gold on this. I might not even get silver easily on this. This one's a pain in the dick. I'm going to ignore that for today. We've spent so long roller beetle racing. I guess I'll just do the DSR, and then I'll call it there. That will give us enough medallions. We probably already have enough medallions for the Panda Tonic. And then we should be good. No, the sky scale is fine. Well, I mean, the bugs where you, like, waypoint with it while you're on a wall and stuff, like, obviously, is not fine, but... Once you've tried Snowdon a few times, you get the hang of it. Yeah, I'm sure it's just that trying it a few times. I'll do that on another day, I think. This was probably a mistake doing this, but whatever. Whoa, what the hell? Nice boost there, Liz. What the hell was that? Why is this one in blue, by the way? What? Do they change the colour of the domes based on which one you're on? I feel kind of bad looking at this. I wonder, you know, because the game was... I really feel like right as these races came out, we were getting so much stuff added to PvE. It was insane. Like, this was a huge update. Got the car giveaway and stuff. Felt like really positive time. And now, like, there was the layoffs, and I'm like, oh, will we get this kind of stuff anymore? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, the domes just have an outline to indicate the direction. Yeah. Well, it's like the archway in it, right? So the archway here is angling slightly left, so I know. I really like that as well, because I feel like that's the kind of art that people... that is helping people, but they don't actually know they're benefiting from it, right? They don't know why they intuitively know things. You know, not on their first time, but slowly, like that pattern that slowly... Humans recognize patterns very well, even if they don't consciously acknowledge they're doing so. So, like, I know that that's left there. I say all that, but I was a little bit getting a little bit disoriented on the Brisbane one earlier. Guild Wars 2 Masters also includes mastering the roller beetle and being the best racer interior. Not necessarily being the best, but mastering it, yeah. You can master something without being the best, right? Maybe. This is a lot more weaving and long than I remember. In fact, I don't really remember this one at all. Did I only ever beat this once? Did we get gold? No, we only got silver that time. How far away from gold was I? 3 seconds? No, I'm not gonna try again. I'm not gonna try again. Let's just buy our stuff. So basically, when I get really good at this, I'll get medallions even faster, and we'll sort of accelerate the speed at which we get these things. Okay, endless mystery bear tonic. Endless. Okay. Wait. Add to wardrobe. Thank you. Oh, and you can just manually change the transformation. All right. Here you go, panda. It's a freaking panda, guys. I've never seen anyone as a panda. Look how big and fat it is.
Seize the moment.
Have you guys ever seen someone as a panda? Do we get any emotes? / talk. / sit. Oh! Oh, man. There's a full-on sit animation. Where we shake and everything. / sleep. It looks like it might... No, he didn't. What other emotes exist in Guild Wars? / roar. / point. / dance. Oh, he's got a dance. Oh, he's drunk. That is adorably ugly. What is this? I want him to be bigger. I like it. Does it work in World vs. World? You want to be a panda commander? That is how I dance. Yeah, this is how I dance after I've had a few. Yeah, he's got a dance. I think the sit's best, though. Look at the quality on that. I guess all the bears probably do that, right? Should we see? They all dance in the same way. Yeah, they do. They all dance in the same way. Oh, here's something weird. Ready? Sit. Ooh. Oh, yeah, no, the ICD. Ooh, we can do it mid-animation. That's kind of cool how that actually doesn't break. The Arctidus is pretty big.
Act with wisdom.
Oh, look, we got the dog. Look at this. A veritable farmyard. The chicken is pretty good, man. We'll have to get that. Maybe I should have focused on the armor skin first, because, I mean... It's going to take max out novelties is a hell of a challenge, I'll tell you that. I'm looking forward to it, though. Okay, right. I was going to do a little bit of the sky scale collection stuff. We also obviously have more of this to do, which was what we were doing yesterday. But we pretty much ran out of time here. So I will leave it there, guys. I think we made some good progress here today. We got a bit of this, bit of this. Oh, wait, there was one more thing. I did just want to show off. I don't have it anymore. Interesting. There's an item in the game that lets you automatically get into the rifts for Helpful Hero. And if I'm doing this, I need all of the Rift Stalker weapons. And I think there's like a daily thing on that maybe or something. So I'm not sure what's going on with all of that. Also, what are these? I'm getting them from Black Lion chests, and I'm not sure what the deal is. I have to kill stuff with them, and I get extra loot. Is that it? Alright, well, look, we'll figure this out. I've got to deposit some of this stuff here. Liss's inventory is a bit of a nightmare right now. She's got to figure those out, too. I think you get that teleporter item if you miss the exit on the boss. Ah, interesting. Okay. I thought it was a thing like where you get one free rift every day or something.
Seize the moment.
It's just for extra gold. Okay. Oh, is it only in the Dragonfall map too? Well, there you go, guys. That's it. That's the stream. I'll be back for more Master tomorrow. You can also check me out over on YouTube, where I hope to have stuff uploaded very soon. Today might be a Ghost of Ascalon day. It might be something. I don't know. But, yeah. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for all the chat. We'll see you tomorrow.